everyone, welcome back to the Sacred Space. My name is Kalu and I'm also known as the Scribe Priestess. And on this channel, I make videos about spiritual practices, our spiritual development, and our spiritual journey here on Earth. And for this video of today, we are going to continue to go through the zodiac signs. So we have seen already a bunch of them. We actually have entered to the middle point of the zodiac wheel because today we are going to see the sixth sign of the zodiac, which is Virgo. So before we start with the video of today, I want to let you guys know that there is going to be an extended version of this video on my webpage. On this extended version, I am going to talk about what it means to have a Virgo moon. And so very often what people know about astrology is the sun sign or the rising sign, but they forget a lot about the moon. These are placements, these three, with other ones that we already have, that are very important for our development. And because I am an evolutionary astrologer, I find that the moon is actually a very important placement for us to take in consideration. So if you are interested to know what it means to have a Virgo moon, or if you yourself have a Virgo moon and you want to know more about that, I am going to leave down the link on the description to my webpage. You can go and check the extended library section that I have there on my membership site. So without further ado, let's get started with today's video. So you guys, the energy of Virgo, I believe this to be a very misunderstood sign. And because it is misunderstood, the archetypal energy of this sign is also going to be misunderstood. So when you are listening to what Virgo is, it is about the sun placement, and it's all about being perfectionist, detail-oriented, and like this trying to make order of everything and maybe a little bit OCD. Virgo is so much more than that, you guys. Of course, this energy is going to be very detailed and also in this perfectionism oriented, and we're going to talk about why it is so. But Virgo has a lot of other very powerful energy and qualities to the archetypal energy. So let's get started with that. First of all, let's go to what Virgo means. So when you see the symbol, the symbology of Virgo, you will see the Virgin. You will see a woman who is portraying this virginal qualities to her. So the archetypal energy of Virgo is that of the servant, the one who is going to be of service to others. So when you see this virgin portrayed in the symbology of Virgo, it's to make allusion to a person that is dedicating her or his life to devotional service, to a greater power, to nature, to other people, but it's to a greater cause, not only to themselves. So I find this very interesting because we are coming from the very individual energy of Leo that is actually inviting us in our lives to see how special we are, to say, I am unique, I am brilliant, and I deserve everything, to another extreme. In Virgo, we are here and saying, I am actually not that special. And everybody is special, and there is something bigger in this life than all of us, and there are other powers in our lives that are coming into play here and that are much bigger, much more important than me, most of all, and then of the other people. So it is an energy that is going to be oriented to the other. If you're seeing this energy from the Leo perspective, from the ego perspective of I, it's an energy that is uncomfortable, because this is an energy that is going to sacrifice the own needs of the ego in order to serve other people, in order to serve the other. So it's an energy that it's one of the first energies that we're going to be seeing on the zodiac wheel that is going to start getting a little bit complicated. The archetypal energy of this sign is going to tend to be a little bit more complex as we go further down the line of the zodiac wheel. And we start with Virgo, because Virgo, as I said, as it focuses on this service quality of this very virginal state of just sacrificing your life for others for a greater good, it tends to also detach a lot from the own needs, the own self. So if we would be talking about what it means to be a Virgo, bringing balance to that energy is going to be very important throughout life. And that's why also the archetypal energy of Virgo has to do with health. So what it means to be healthy. And not only health regarding our physical body, but the health that we have as a conglomerate of bodies. So we have our physical body, our emotional body, our spiritual body, and our mind body. So when one of these bodies is not in a healthy position, you are going to feel it. And Virgo is this energy that is going to say, okay, we need to work on our emotional body, or okay, I am doing very good in my physical body, but maybe my mental body is requiring a little bit more of care, of routine, and of service. So one of the things that is also very important to notice here is that although the service to others is going to be a very key component of this energy, the self-service is also going to be very important. And what I mean about self-service is exactly this constellation of understanding what healthy means. I am going to be with a lot of love, taking care of myself, and maybe sacrificing things that are comfortable in order for me to be healthy. For example, if I need to change a little bit more my diet because I need to lose a little bit more of weight, or because I am struggling with sleep, for example, then I am going to stay away of the foods that are not good for me, and I'm going to incorporate a healthier lifestyle. And that decision making, that sacrifice that you are doing for yourself in service of you, is the Virgo energy that we're talking about here. So as you see, Virgo is an energy that is going to be connected with analyzing and finding solutions to problems. So for example, when you have a lot of abundance about everything, so you have a lot of food, a lot of money, a lot of material gain, a lot of love, you're not going to put the Virgo energy so much into action, because the energy of this archetype comes to play when abundance is not so present. So it doesn't mean that you're lacking absolutely everything, but you're going to start feeling this lack of abundance in some sort or area of your life. And then this energy of trying to incorporate new techniques, new habits, new ideas, new answers and solutions to this lacking is the energy of Virgo. So the energy of Virgo is connected to the earth. So it's the second sign of the zodiac wheel that is connected to the element of earth. So it's a very grounding energy. It is connected to the cycles of the earth. It is connected with every single process that earth herself and nature goes through. And this is what I love about this energy, because it connects to the processes, the time it takes to grow a plant, for example, to know that knowing of, okay, if I want to have tomatoes by summertime, I have to start processing my land or processing the earth around March, for example, because it takes time. This is the energy of mastering what it means to manifest here on planet Earth. because its polarity is Pisces, and Pisces is the dream world, is everything is possible. The limitless energy of Pisces wants to bring all the dreams to earth and make them come true. But the energy of Virgo, that is its polarity, is going to say, for example, okay, everything is possible, but in order for you to bring this possibility, this idea to earth, you are going to need processes, you're going to need time, you're going to need space, and also rules. So it's a very analytical energy. It is the energy you're going to be manifesting and integrating in yourself when you want to achieve projects, for example. Let's take the idea of writing a book. So you can be in a very Leo energy saying, I am the best writer of them all. And I have the best theme. I want to write a book about birds. Let's say birds. And you have all these creative ideas because Leo, you know, creativity to the full and 100% birds, all this beautiful birds with different tonalities and different sounds and everything about birds. But the process you really have to go through in order for you to write the book, that's the energy of Virgo. So as you see, if you want to write a book about birds, you're going to need a lot of discipline, order, to maintain some rituals, to maintain habits, and to get clear goals on how to achieve. So processes, analyzing things in order for you to achieve this goal. That is the energy of Virgo. Virgo is taking that idea that you created in this chaos energy of creativity you have in Leo and bringing it, condensing it and saying, okay, you have a beautiful idea, but let's make it real. What do we need? What do we need so we can make it real? And the thing about this energy is that it's going to be very logical. It's not going to be so, you know, like, oh yes, 100 million different possibilities. Let's take every single possibility and make them true. No, it's going to be more logical, practical. It's going to be very empirical. So this energy has to do with everything scientific, to all these scientific processes, empirical processes. You know, I see it, I believe it because I see it, I can touch it, then I believe it, and so to speak, you know. So funny, a very Virgo energy would start criticizing a little bit how you can see this archetypal world in action, for example, because it is this language of symbology and archetypes is so abstract that for this logical mind it's a little bit more like, okay, but how can I use it in reality? How can I see it being processed in reality? So I love this energy because we all need Virgo. We all need this energy of Virgo in order for us to create here in life, to be actually understanding what do we need to bring this creativity that we have inside of us and make it real. Two other things that I want to talk about this energy is that it is filled with humbleness. So when you are experiencing the energy of Virgo, you're experiencing what it means to be humble. So as I said, you are coming from a very egocentric energy of Leo being this magnificent lion, magnificent king, to coming more into a more collected energy and saying, I am humbled. There is so much bigger things happening, bigger energies than myself in this world, that I am of service for something greater and I'm in service to humanity. It is a very lovable energy also. It's unconditional love. And you see this love starting to form itself in Cancer, because in Cancer we see the other persons, we are experiencing family and bonds and emotions and everything, like really this love, what it means to love. But now in this energy, it's a love that is not selfish. It's not a love to the self. It's a love that is oriented to the others. So as I said, one of the things with this energy is to always remember that we need balance between Leo and Virgo. So because we have just seen Leo, I can talk about finding balance between this ego self and the other self. But you can see it when we will talk about Pisces. Pisces is very immersed in the collective. So Pisces is others. The self vanishes. It's just like, oh, I am others. and the others are me too. So it's a very collective energy. The polarity, which is Virgo, can still make this distinction about, okay, the others and myself. But it has to bring the balance that Leo had before. As I already said, when we go through the zodiac wheel, we bring with us this knowledge and wisdom that the previous sign has taught to us. So Virgo has already inside of this energy the balance this energy needs between the needs of the other people and my needs as an individual. And so this archetypal energy is going to be ruled by Mercury. So Mercury, we have already talked about Mercury when we saw Gemini, because it's also the ruler of Gemini and it's also the ruler of Virgo. So we have earth and air energy here. And I want to say something, and it's very important that we clarify that although these two signs are ruled by Mercury, what they're going to be expressing regarding communication and ideas in the sense of what communication is and the processing of information is going to be very different. So first of all, the energy of this archetype focuses herself in our left brain side. So this very logical, very analytical part of our brains. So the left hemisphere. And our brains is not just parted in hemispheres, but it's parted in quadrants. And when you are thinking about the brain in astrological talk, and we are talking about Mercury here, the left hemisphere is going to be parted in two energies, the energy of Gemini and the energy of Virgo. And our right brain is going to also be parted in two energies, the energy of Pisces, which is the polarity of Virgo, and the polarity of Gemini, that is going to be Sagittarius. So all of these signs are going to have to do with this energetical air vibration and frequency that is Mercury. But it's going to be functioning in a very different way. Our left side is going to be this logical and rational side, and our right hemisphere is more connected to creativity, to the arts, and very intuitive type of energy. So as we see, this energy is going to be connected to the left hemisphere, logical, analytical, just as Gemini. What Gemini wants to do is to associate ideas, to understand and to communicate something that makes reason, that is reasonable, that is intelligent, that makes sense. So Gemini is not going to communicate something that doesn't make any sense, that you probably could be doing in the right side of the brain, for example, something which is very creative and innovative. But Gemini is going to be more directed, okay, I have this idea and I can associate it with this and this and this, and it makes sense. It makes sense. I'm talking something which feels truth. Virgo, on the other side, is going to go with the facts and it's going to say the things as they are, because it has gone through all of the process, through all of the detailed process of how something functions, of how something is processed. And then Virgo is going to say, I am communicating this to you because it's a fact, because I've studied it and I have, I don't know how many hours invested in it, so I can speak about this. So as you see, Gemini is still a little bit more playful in this sense. Virgo is very grounded. Gemini is an air sign which is mutable, so it's going to be very flexible. And Virgo is also a mutable sign, very interesting, but it's a mutable sign in earth. So it's going to also, that's why it's so good finding solutions and seeing where the things are not functioning. This is because it is a mutable sign. Mercury is such an important planet for us as humans because Mercury, the influence of the energy of Mercury in our lives has allowed us to go through evolution. For example, it was that energy that started communication, that started language, that started to connect, to associate one another thing in order for us to evolve. But then as this energy got bigger and bigger, it transformed itself to Virgo energy, which means this very detail-oriented, processed energy in order to create evolution or to create development. So because it is connected to this idea, process, type of mind that we have, it has to do with everything regarding advances in health. It's very connected. The Virgo energy regarding Mercury is very connected to the medicine, to nurses, mental health, anything that has to do in this scientific world where you need to have facts, you need to do empirical processes in order to have results. For example, if you are trying to learn something very spiritual, you might need another energy that comes to play. Maybe the polarity of Virgo that is Pisces, although I believe it's more of Sagittarius that but we haven't seen that. But what I mean is that because Virgo is going to be very critical, it's not going to be focusing itself in all of this, what is the possibilities of the universe, but what I can see here on the now. So what I can see, touch, and understand, and it's going to go very deeply, very, very inside of the things, but it's not going to be interested in all of these other things that are surrounding us. What I was saying with Mercury being very important for our development as human beings is because with this energy comes our critical thinking. And critical thinking comes with discernment, so that we are able to discern the things that are in reality and those things that are illusion, to live a life here on earth. So this part is absolutely important, because here we see that the critical mind, this discernment, is trying to is taking shape in what the Virgo energy is. As you see, it is a very methodic, very detail-oriented energy with a lot of logic, but it has a lot of heart, a lot of love, and all of that mental energy and earth energy, grounded, stable energy that Virgo has, it's going to be portrayed and given to the other. So yes, you guys, this was the energy of Virgo. I hope that you have a better understanding of what this energy is, and to see past this detail-oriented and perfectionism. But that is actually a very powerful energy of service and of knowledge and of wisdom, because it incorporates this critical thinking aspect. I hope this video was interesting to you and that you can take a little bit more information about what the energy of this archetype is. And yes, you guys, if you have any questions about this subject, I read you in the comments. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for having watched this. And I am sending you a lot of light and a lot of love. Stay safe, and we will see each other on next video. Bye!